Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NGS Season 7. I am joined this evening by the wonderful, beautiful Jesus Keanu Reeves child, Ektar. Thank you for joining me, sir. How are you tonight?
Adopted, but I'm doing very well.
Adopted, I love it. So we're here for a Div D West game between the Baddest Dudes and Kamino Saberdarts. Baddest Dudes have been in NGS before. They've also played a little bit in Heroes Lounge. So this is their third season collectively, and the first season for Kamino Saberdarts. So I love that that logo, by the way, as well. A little bit of a Star Wars nerd. So welcome, Kamino Saberdarts, to NGS. We're gonna get started in just a second. We have both the teams here ready to go. Just gonna take a look at the maps real quick. All right, so we had Map Ban, BOE, and Towers of Doom from Baddest Dudes. Kamino Saberdarts banned Braxis, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we are going to be going to Volskaya, picked by the Baddest Dudes for map number 1. And we will do that in just a moment here. Is there anything that you have, Ektar, that you want to talk about before we get started here?
Not a whole lot. I'm not terribly surprised by this map choice. Based on their previous Heroes Lounge and NGS experience, they tend to really like this map. And Kamino Saberdarts, they're a dark horse. There's no scouting information on them out there at all.
All right, yeah. Well, there will be after these matches. Oh, one other thing. Since Kamino Saberdarts are new and the Baddest Dudes have not a casted win yet, one of these teams will win this series live for the first time. So it'll be pretty good. All right, I think the teams are ready to go. Just gonna double check. Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3, testing 4. All right, Catcher King's ready, and I believe 2D's ready.
Yep, he's got the band crown. Should be good to go.
All right, let's do it. Good luck, Ektar. I'll see you on the other side, buddy.
Whew, that was a rough transition. I'm glad we made it.
Whew, actually, it was a little bit rough. every time I switch monitors, it lags. All righty, tighty. So we're gonna get the first ban, first pickup from Kamino Saberdarts, as they won the flip, and they decided that they wanted a first hero pick.
I'm just the teensiest bit surprised with the first ban Ana, considering all the nerfs that she just got today.
So that patch is now live, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I fired on my computer and then walked away for a second, so I didn't see if it was updating or not.
It did. That level 7 grenade boost, the radius used to go up by 100%, now it goes up by 25%. So that's a much smaller grenade after level 7.
Yeah, that's a big cut for sure. Variant ban there. And also, someone pointed out in NGS chat somewhere, probably general, about the speed buff, the 10% speed buff. That also hurts Ana because she's so slow.
Well, not only that, it makes it so that she misses even more skill shots on her allies.
That's true. That's true. I am very, very good at unintentionally dodging Ana shots when she's on my team.
You and every other range DPS.
It's true. Although there's the Diablo ban from Kamino Saberdarts. I do have some support background, and I do fill in every now and then. So I used to know how to play support. Now I just kind of fail.
I like the Diablo ban on this map. There's a lot of walls around all the objectives, so you can get really good slam value. The variant ban's a little bit interesting. I wonder if they have just had issues with variant in the past, and Garrosh is another really solid tank ban, and in particular a good Garrosh at kind of the lower skill ranks can just win games for your team, so I'm not terribly surprised to see him gone either.
Oh, it also makes sense too to ban getting all these tanks banned out to scoop up Johanna. Very good tank option for Kamino Saberdarts. Gonna soak up a lot of damage. I guess. What do you think is a viable tank now? A new Barak? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. That would be the one that I would have banned originally if I were the left team, but I guess they just wanted to pick it instead, which, to be fair, it's way better to have a Nubrak than to ban him.
Yep, that's true. You get all the goodies. I'm not sure if there's any nerfs to Johanna or Nubrak in the last patch notes, but I didn't hear anything.
His hardened carapace, I think it's called, got a 1 second nerf, and the level 13 talent that gives you cooldown reduction when you hit with your burrow charge went from 1.25 to 1 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Rhaegar got changes, I don't remember what they are, but I think they were buffs.
They removed self-ancestral. No! Welcome to chat, 7th Ace. Looking good, he says to Ektar. Well,
Ace is also a very good-looking man. Thank you for being here, Ace.
Pogchamp. That's my translation of Pogchamp, is looking good. Falstad, grabbed up by Kamino Saberdarts. Oh man, I wish there was a way that I could shorten that. By the Caminos. I don't know.
I don't know if that works.
No, not quite.
And if you wanted to get real technical, the inhabitants of Kamino are the Kaminoans.
Oh,
so that's not shorter at all.
I definitely can't say that. That's gonna come up with some interesting misplays there.
I'm a little surprised to see the Saberdarts opting to go with the Lily after the Johanna here, considering what we see on the side of the Baddest dudes. They've only got Rhaegar and a Nubrak, which are not particularly AA heavy heroes, and it just means that the dudes can just not draft AA heroes, and then you lose a lot of value from your Johanna and Lily.
Absolutely. 7th Ace confirms that was the correct translation. Jaina, Arthas, ooh, the slow combo. Watch out. You will not be able to get away from that if you get sucked in.
I'm a big fan of that, just because you have the Nubrak engage with the Arthas follow-up and the Jaina damage follow-up.
Yep.
If you hit anyone but Johanna on that, but thankfully they have a Johanna, they're probably going to go down.
Oh my goodness, it's turret time over here for Kamino as they pick up Tychus and Zarya. I was kind of curious why they banned Blaze when there's already a Nubrak on the other team. I guess Blaze can combo with other tanks pretty well, so. But still, they have two tanks, two tanky boys on the Baddest dudes, so that Tychus might get some value.
And Zarya does a really good job of shutting down what I was talking about before, but Sylvanas is also really good chunky damage. She synergizes very well with the objective, and in particular, once you get that armor cut, can make Jaina's life even better.
Yeah, going back to the Lily, it could just be more of a comfort pick, especially for a lot of Div D teams. They like to play what they're good at and what they like a lot more than necessarily what's super strong in the meta. So at least that's what I do. Because I'm like, I can't play that hero. Not going to happen.
I will say, you know what? The base movement speed is probably also a nerf to Zarya, because she doesn't move during auto attacks and can't really start a step at all.
That's true. That's true. And Tychus, right? Well, during his passive anyways. All right, let's get into it. All right, here we go. Game number 1. On the left-hand side, we have the blue team, and it is the Baddest dudes. We have Tudimas playing Rhaegar. We have Cactus Ham playing the Sylvanas. We have Zigo playing Arthas. Rounder Taker playing a Nubrak, and Savior 123 playing Jaina.
Over on the red side, we have Tychus played by Ketchup King, Zarya being played by Bones, Lily by AIUEO, Johanna by Kuni, and Falstad by Rakanishu.
See, you got all the hard names.
I'm gonna have to figure something out about that Lily name, because it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's seems a little bit difficult. All right, so we've got some sprays coming out in the very beginning. Bribe picked up by Falstad. Gonna look at some camps going on that way.
I'm always interested to see Johanna's picking up Law of Hope, because I feel you get really, really good value out of the shortened D cooldown, especially with as much lockdown as we have coming out from the Baddest dudes.
Yeah, extra heals always good as well. So you want to try to get as much healing as you can when you're the tank, because I hear when it drops to 0, you die.
more often than not.
So it looks like we're going to see some rotations between mid and top with 4-man, and then the bottom lane it's going to look like it's going to be Arthas and Falstad working out their deal down there. Vowels.
I really like coming out from, we can see that there's a solid 4-man coming out from the Baddest Dudes, and Kamino just establishing that they cannot keep up in rotations going for the 1-3-1 makes them a little bit less able to rotate out and take camps like we see coming out from 2D and Cactus.
Absolutely. That's a very good point also from 7th Ace. Lili's name is A-E-I-O-U, all the vowels. Just in a different order.
So what you're saying is we need to call them sometimes Y.
That would be a good thing to do, I think.
A little bit of a gank coming out here onto Zarya, but come on, it's Zarya. She's going to walk away, even if you put some damage into her.
Yeah, good luck on getting a solid gank on that.
Yeah, the only worst person to try and gank would be in the mid lane right now. That's Johanna.
Absolutely. And they're going for it. Well, they're just kind of clearing out the lane. Try to figure out why my stream is stuttering a little bit. Hopefully it clears itself up, gets all the cobwebs moved out. Thank you.
Nubarak coming up with this team for the second gank attempt onto Bones. Doesn't get as much damage as the first time, but at least the first time they did force that Zarya to pop well, so it won't be up right away when the objective starts.
Absolutely. Charging in onto the support camp. Looks like the Baddest Dudes, they want all of the goodies, and they are adding it to their collection. Getting that bionic emitter.
Contested, all coming out from the side of the Saberdarts.
Yeah, playing pretty safe. That's fine, that's good.
It looks like the Baddest Dudes, however, they're not going to go straight onto the objective, even with their item advantage, because they've got Mercenary Queen, and they want to get those mercs pushing in top lane to counter what the Kamino Saberdarts are already doing.
Yeah, and they're all gonna, they're gonna get those camps pushing in the top, but they're all gonna come mid, waiting on Falstad in the bottom lane to join in this 5v4 currently. But they're about to smash into each other, and someone's gonna take this point.
I gotta say, going into this objective, the advantage really has to be on the side of the Baddest Dudes with that very early biotic emitter, as long as you can remember to actually put it down on time.
Yeah, if you put it down when everyone's dead, it's not going to do any work, and if they kill you before you put it down, then they can pick it up and use it and add it to their own collection.
A lot of damage coming out onto Kuni, but it's Johanna, so they're still able to pretty much just walk away.
Both turrets go down.
Necessary. A lot of damage coming out onto both teams, but not a lot of focus fire. A lot of low health bars, but nobody going down quite yet. And there comes the biotic emitter and the healing totem from Rhaegar to get his team nice and topped off.
Yeah, really good patience from the Baddest Dudes. They're able to use that emitter to heal themselves up. Oh, just lagged just a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, I'm reconnecting. Here we go.
Excellent.
If you can actually switch off your video in the call, that might actually help just a tad bit.
I will do that right now.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. Still fighting over this point. Up to 63% now for the Baddest Dudes, and they are continuing to control this point as they're chasing Lili, and they are chasing Johanna. I don't know if this is sustainable. Taking a lot of damage. Rhaegar has to drop into the back. Still has the turret to drop, is holding on to it. Up to 90%.
A lot of damage coming out on both sides. Vowel's getting chunked down by that Sylvanas arrow. Not quite able to get the kill, but just a little bit too much Venn diagram of healing coming out from the side of the Baddest Dudes, keeping their members a little more healthy than the side of Kamino Saberdarts. And that's the first objective going over in their favor.
Yeah, very strong showing, still holding on to that turret on... Oh, no, Rhaegar did drop that turret after all. Going for this well right away, as the second objective will be spawning top, so it just really sets your team up for a good movement for the next objective. Because there's nowhere to retreat to, no one can tap on the other team. Got both the tanks inside the protector, though, so when that thing pops out, they should be fine just walking away. You don't want to have a squishy in there behind enemy lines when that robot goes down.
And we saw 2D rotate up from the mid lane where he was originally soaking to try and see if they can get just a little bit more pressure on there, but the damage coming out from the Saberdarts was just a little bit too good to allow them to push in, try to get any more damage out onto that fort, so...
Yeah, the protector is down, but there are a few low members of Kamino Saberdarts defending, and it looks like they're not gonna, the Baddest Dudes are not gonna push in at that moment. Thank
On
you
the
for
other hand, during that whole objective, Falstad was soaking into the bottom lane and rotating to mid lane. So XP lead is actually in favor of the Saberdarts after that. It'll go in favor of the Baddest dudes as the trickle XP starts to catch him up, but for the time being, they actually kind of lost value in that, outside of the obvious well value.
Yeah, if you put 5 people in a lane, you're not going to be soaking much else. That is for sure. Thank you for the 100 bits, Double Dam. I appreciate it. Once again, rotation from the Baddest dudes. They want the support camp. They want to get that biotic emitter. But this time, Kamino stepping up, looking to fight for it.
And Falstad's making his way up in the rotation as well, seeing if there is going to be a team fight, whether or not he does need to fly in. And both teams decide to just, gentleman's agreement, let's just not fight over this until one of us has an advantage. And looks like that's probably going to be when the Saberdarts get level 10 in just a moment.
Yeah, as well as the camp pickup from Kamino, that's going to have to be cleared. And as Anubarak backs off the point, it might be an opportunity for that support camp to be taken. But it looks like the Saberdarts have switched into other lanes, getting that 10 soak. Maybe looking for a fight?
Maybe. That, or they're just going to take the very safe value and get the support camp. And I gotta say, Kamino Saberdarts are doing a really good job making sure they're getting their camps on time, especially compared to the other team, which has a Mercenary Queen Sylvanas.
10's now up for both teams. We're going to see him come out right here. There's Hinterland getting a lot of target hits as Cocoon comes out as well. Big silence. Cactus Ham goes down. Sylvanas super low, followed up by Lily. And this is, so far it's a 1-for-1, but I don't think this is all we've seen as Nubrak gets low, has to drop back. Falstad hammering away onto Arthas. Arthas trying to back out. Tychus is on him, gets a nice root and will be able to get away. 1-for-1 there, but that was close for a few members there of the Baddest dudes. They got really low.
It was a pretty incredible Graviton into Hinterland's Blast, which gave the Saberdarts a really good early advantage, but a Nubarak using the web wrap on Johanna made it so that they could actually finish the cap on the camp, and he dropped it almost immediately so that they could try to swing that fight in their favor.
Yeah.
So no long-term value really gained. Both teams blew a lot of ults, which, looking at cooldowns, actually just favors the Saberdarts a little bit, because they're going to have their ults back up sooner than their opponents.
Absolutely. Siege Camp getting picked up here by the Baddest dudes. Some of the ults that were picked up by this team, Wailing Arrow and Sylvanas, Army of the Dead, Arthas, Cocoon, as we saw on Anubarak, Ancestral Healing on Rhaegar, and Summon Water Elemental on Jaina.
On the other side, we have the Commandeer Odin, the Graviton Surge, Jug of 1,000 Cups, Blessed Shield, and Hinterland Blast.
I know people like to say, you know, you should always take Gust on Falstad for so many things. I just love having a huge laser beam come out of a bird. I think it's awesome.
And I think they kind of need it. Commandeer Odin is a good sieging ultimate, but it's not the greatest team fighting ultimate.
But it's popped, and he's going in.
Yeah, they want to try and get the enemy off of their channel point before they get to that magic 9-9 number.
Cups, turret, there goes Hinterlands.
Big whiff on the Graviton, though.
Yep,
not
Graviton
hitting
down.
anybody except a Nubarak who just burrow charged right out of it.
Got to push the Baddest dudes off, though, if they want to start getting some ticking points for them. But down goes Arthas. Web wrap onto Johanna. Anubarak trying to do what he can on the backline, goes in onto Zarya. It gets the kill, but is very low as Rounder Taker goes down themselves. It's a 4v3 with a turret. I don't think Baddest dudes are going to be able to stay in, and they can't as Tootie goes down. Rhaegar will be respawning.
So that was a very good team fight from the Saberdarts, but they are not out of the woods yet. The Baddest dudes are going to have 13. They're going to have time to engage, and they have to travel a long way to get healed back up because the well that went down from that first objective. So this is not an over and done team fight, I don't think.
Well, absolutely. Back goes Johanna, though. That might be something you have to give up. As the respawn
testing the waters, just he sees there's only 2 people here. I think they're going to make the call to go back in on this.
I think so, and it's going to be tough. Tough to defend when you don't have everybody there. All right, now it's a 5-on-5, but Falstad has to drop back as he's getting very low. Sylvanas falling back, going back in after getting a good heal. Cups come out again. Unstoppable pop on Johanna, but there is the Cocoon onto Lily, chasing Zarya. Zarya's in trouble. Popping her bubble, but gonna get away. Interesting. All right, deciding not to chase and going back to the objective.
Only a couple of seconds left until this goes in the favor of the Baddest dudes, but I think that's the call they need to make. They do not want to try and force the contest on this, but they do force the contest on this. They get Jaina very low, not quite able to get it, but they throw the tanks in the Protector, and now they've got a big, meaty health bar with pretty okay teamfight capabilities to throw at the enemy team.
Bones getting taken down as Zarya couldn't quite escape a second time. A big silence onto Tychus, and does get crushed by the Protector. Not and protecting Tychus at that moment.
Vowels got hit by that black arrow, wailing arrow, so they weren't able to do anything except watch sadly as their partner got taken down.
Yep, no heals coming out when you're silenced. Protector is down to about a third of its health. It's gonna get probably both of these towers.
Kuni pushing up probably a little bit too far at the moment. It's hard to push past this objective because of the big shield that it can give you, but they are able to push the Baddest dudes back without doing almost any damage to the actual keep, so they're still in a very fightable position for this game.
Yeah, this is still anybody's game, tied almost at 14. As you know, the Protectors get stronger the longer the game goes on. So the early Protectors is not the end of the world if you lose them. You just got to be careful about getting picked off at the same time, because that will really extend the value of those Protectors.
Like I say, really keeping the Saberdarts in this game is actually Rakanishu getting all that split soak XP. He's got almost twice as much XP as the next closest member of his team. And you can see they're only down a little bit in XP because of that. Absolutely,
yeah. You don't have to necessarily win all the objectives at the beginning of the game to still have a shot. Falstad's gonna go back. Lily's gonna go back in and I guess finished up that camp. Got that turret. Probably gave it to Kuni. Getting a good route there onto 2. Cups is popped.
Bit of an early jugs, I think. I don't think that was necessary, but good job from Vowels to end that early, making sure you get the cooldown reduction from not using the entirety of jugs.
Mbot thinks that Tychus needs to be the Cocoon target. Not necessarily a bad idea, as Tychus will be putting out a lot of damage, especially on their tanky boys. All right.
I like what Rounder Taker is doing, just sitting in the top lane, soaking the XP passively, but not giving away their position on the map. Just because recently the Saberdarts have been out a little bit trying to make something happen, and they haven't been able to yet.
Absolutely. Gotta be careful though, because here comes a bunch of members from Kamino, and they are pushing Rounder Taker back just a little bit. But down comes Odin, and this looks like it's engage time. The new Barak is chasing Odin all the way back. See if this turn happens though, as it gets everybody in his AoE. Down goes the emitter. Gonna get some heals going on in there. There's a turret that still hasn't been dropped here by Johanna, and there's a big hinterland blast. There's the ancestral onto Arthas. Arthas very low, has to back out. Can't really continue to fight this.
I was going to say I didn't originally like Tychus popping Odin there, but I think the 25 armor was actually exactly what he needed during that team fight, because he got jumped on almost as soon as Odin went down and took just a ton of damage, and really just a lot of damage put out on both sides to no real permanent effect. But once again, though, that means that the Saberdarts with their shorter cooldown ultimates are going to be in a position to take a team fight a little bit sooner.
Absolutely. A lot of ults used in that last fight though for both sides. You can cocoon Tychus when he's in Odin, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's definitely not a reason why he was popping it then, to avoid that. But it just seems kind of funny that you can cocoon a huge mech like that. But whatevs.
If I had to guess, I would guess that they saw a Nubrak was split from his team, and the call was made a Nubrak, and Ketchup King was trying to deliver.
Yep, and when you're behind, you have to be the Ketchup King.
Oh, God.
Wah, 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 wah. My apologies. All right, so the objective is going to be started here by the Baddest dudes. A turret is picked up there by Falstad for Kamino, so they're going to be able to have at least one toy at their disposal.
Both sides just positioning aggressively, not letting the other one get that channel started, but we see Cooney gets brought down to half health before this teamfight really gets started in full. But Ketchup King is just right-clicked onto Tootie, and he has to run away. Rounder Taker gets brought down very low, 19 hit points before that Ancestral comes in. But look at the health bars from the side of the Saberdarts. They're all still full, all still red. They are going to take position on this objective, at least until that Odin goes down.
Absolutely. So close on a Nubarak going down. A great heal there by Tootie, getting that Ancestral off. Getting some value out of Hinterland's Blast, but not quite getting the kills. So close, but just not quite guaranteeing it.
As exciting as teamfights are, I want to point out at the top lane, you've got that camp that's been pushing this entire time with a catapult, which means that Falstad has to go back and actually clear that, which will get, as soon as he shows, that's an opportunity for the other team to go in there and make this a 5v4.
And they just picked up the emitter. They got that support camp, so they could use it here to increase their advantage. And they're going in. They get a huge root. Down goes the emitter right away.
Holy 5-person Graviton Batman. That was almost a huge turnaround, but unfortunately Falstad wasn't there. The follow-up Hinterland wasn't there.
Johanna falling, as well as Tychus. Tychus just can't get off that treadmill. Doctor's orders. Get some exercise. Go back to base.
That was a very high-level decision by the members of the Baddest Dudes to back off, force someone to have to respond to that camp top, and as soon as they saw someone else was gone, go in 5v4, and made a team fight out of it.
Yeah, very well played indeed. Getting a little bit of push there as they continue to tick up to 100% right now at 70. Do you think they're gonna? Do you think Kamino's gonna be able to come in and challenge this objective in time? It looks like
they'll be able to, no, but they might, and I think it's the wrong call if they do. And it looks like, exercising a lot of restraint, they have decided as well they do not want to go in on this. They're just gonna defend, and eventually win a team fight.
That's a hard call to make because you know you're gonna lose this fort. You might lose a keep, but going in 3v5 that's just, you're doomed to fail in that situation. So that was a good, patient call there.
Huge damage coming out onto Cooney, blowing right through that blessed shield. And, ooh, the huge pushback. Is that going to get Cooney? But it is not. Yes, it is.
Ooh, laser danger. Down goes Johanna. And now we could get in a scary situation as Tychus takes too much damage and does fall. Now it's a 3v5. This keep is definitely gone. The top keep is not looking great either.
I'd like to see them position for core here. They might not be able to get it, but they have to force the members of the Saberdarts to defend it, which means they might be able to get another kill. That's a huge 3-person burrow charge, and there comes the Cocoon out. They actually do want to go for core, with all of the damage being wrapped up in Spider Silk. It looks like the first game might go over to the side of the Baddest Dudes unless they can mount an incredible recovery from the Saberdarts.
It looks like it. Core's going down. It's 20%. 14-6-5-4-0. That is it. Game 1. Going over to the Baddest Dudes. My goodness. All right. Let's take a look at some of this post-game action. All right.
That is a breaking news bulletin for anyone that is unfamiliar with that sound.
Breaking news. Eric in chat says, you can cocoon Alex too. Yeah, if you can cocoon a big dragon, I guess you could cocoon a mech. It makes sense, sure. All right. A lot of damage coming out from Falstad, hero damage, and Sylvanas. Look at that, 67k. Damn. Getting a lot of siege damage in from Jaina and Zarya. A lot of heals from the Vowels and from Tootie. Anything that jumps out at you here?
The thing that jumps out at me most is 3 deaths on Tychus. Ketchup King, he positions very aggressively, which can sometimes lead to kills, but can at other times lead to being killed. And unfortunately, that was the situation we saw him ending up in a couple of times.
Yeah.
DB Smiley coming in with the big rate of 11 people. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much, DV Smiley. Hope your casting went well and that everybody's having a good evening tonight. We are just finishing up game 1. we're going to be going into game number 2. I need to message Ketchup King and see where we are going next. So we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
By the way, if you're holding on for a Frozen reference, just let it go. Oh no, what have I done?
Today, I'm Uther the Painbringer.
Blondes may have more fun. Redheads are more fun.
100% pure bull, baby.
Not enough hatred. Just kidding. I hate you a bunch right now.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are just setting up the next lobby for game number 2. The Kamino Saberdarts decided to let the Baddest Dudes have map pick for game number 2, so we will be headed to Sky Temple. So look forward to that for game number 2. This is a best of 3, so Kamino Saberdarts, to get to game number 3, they have to win game number 2. Let's see if they can do it. It was close though in game number 1. It went back and forth a couple times, so that was pretty exciting.
The Saberdarts definitely took a couple of convincing fights. Unfortunately, they never quite got the momentum behind them to actually secure an objective. And Volskaya tends to be a very momentum-based map, so once the Baddest Dudes got the first objective, it made it more likely for them to get the second, which made it more likely for them to get the third, and that's how we saw it go down.
Yeah, giving yourself an advantage going into the next objective, always a good thing. But you never know. Things can change at any moment. So do you think we're going to see any... Oh, we got some synergy here on the Baddest Dudes as far as their portraits. That's always fun to see. I'm probably going to want to move Captain to 2D at some point. So now we're just waiting for the rest of the Saberdarts to hop on in.
So you didn't notice the portrait synergy in the first lobby?
No, I did not.
Was definitely as it is now.
So it's true now, it was true then, and maybe it'll be true in game 3, if we get a game 3.
I would love a game 3.
All right, so just waiting on one boy to go to the restroom, and then we're going to get the Saberdarts in here. I was given some information about the Baddest Dudes, some fun facts, if you will. Do you have this list as well, Ektar?
Only one.
Only one. Okay.
I didn't take the time to write it down. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So I'll just go over a couple of these fun facts from Tootie. Half of the Baddest Dudes are drummers, and the other half hate music in general. Seems like they're kind of be at odds with each other. I think that's kind of interesting. You don't necessarily need all of your tastes to line up. Tigerfish, welcome to chat. Zigo says portrait sync is 100% super important. Roger Tanker, thanks for popping to chat. Thanks for casting. You bet, buddy. Happy to be here. Some more facts from the Baddest Dudes.
I've got the one. Roundertaker's highest win rate is on the Lost Vikings.
Ooh.
I will say, however, it is a 4-game sample size, and is also tied with Mercury, another 4-game sample size.
Very good. Maybe, I mean, this is a map where maybe we'll see some of those players, perhaps. Maybe some of those heroes. I don't know.
I do know Team Liquid used to run the Lost Vikings on this map way back when.
All right, it could happen. Most, if not all, of the Baddest Dudes have been bronze not longer than a year ago. So those boys have put in some time and hopefully have climbed up a little bit higher, maybe out of bronze hell, because bronze hell is a hell indeed. It's hard to get some synergy, but if you're all in bronze, it's fine because you can still take a 5-man into Storm League, Team League, if at the time, whatever it is, and it'll make the games a little bit better. The dudes, yeah, we talked about the Baddest Dudes have not won a series while being cast live. That goes for Kamino as well, as they are a new team. They also say that Savior is above 60. They don't know though. They just tease Savior because they don't know how old Savior actually is. Don't you young kids be ageist against us oldies. We have more experience and more wisdom. At least that's what I keep saying, but it's not true, at least for me.
Way back when when I was a raider in World of Warcraft, my main tank was also over 60.
Yeah. I mean, you know, maybe I've noticed as I get older, I can't do first-person shooters like I used to. I used to wreck at Halo, but now I'm just like, was that somebody? I can't. Is that someone there? And they shoot me and I'm dead. I'm like, all right, well, maybe first-person shooters aren't for me. But there's definitely several other games where I'm like, I can still play this, and sometimes I play it well. So
I never feel older than when I'm playing Overwatch.
I know. I'm like, I need to zoom out like way back there so I can see what's going on. That's funny. Yeah, I am very bad at Overwatch, for sure.
I want to like Overwatch because I like so many of the Overwatch heroes in Heroes of the Storm, but it just doesn't translate at all.
Yeah, I want to be good. I'm just not. But it's still, you can still have fun even if you don't win. So, Zigo runs raids in World of Warcraft with his family, Real Blood family. So that's cool. That's cool. I know a couple families that do that. They have a clan and they all just play together. Let's see. Tootie says that the Baddest Dudes have more coaches than actual players. Is that possible? I guess it's possible.
I mean, they don't take up a spot on your roster. Why not?
True. It's the invisible players. It's all the coaches.
From the chat, Savior used to be a tank in World of Warcraft. He would click all of his abilities, no key presses.
Oh my!
I've never lost respect for somebody so fast.
I had a friend that
Savior, that's just not okay.
I had a friend that used to do that too, and I was like, dude, it's so much faster if you just push the buttons and then click where you want to go. And he's like, no, this is just the way I like to do it. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. At the end of the day, like, it's your game. You play it however you want. Still looking for... Oh, go ahead.
If at any point you hear a loud thumping sound coming from my microphone, my dogs are trying to break into the room. They do not like being ignored.
They might break down the door and just leap onto the microphone. Oh, nice. Zigo says, in a family of 5, so we form our own party.
Hey, we got fouls.
Oh, nice. We finally got back into all of the members have loaded in. I think we can go into game number 2. Let's see. Did we set up everything? Yeah, you got everything set up because you're the man.
I mean, you set up the stream. That's way harder than setting up a lobby.
Oh, well, you know, someone's got to have a bunch of lag happen. Thank you for the follow, T-Pole90. T-Pole. All right, I think we are both ready. So yeah, let's launch this game. Let's do this thing. Let's get into game number 2.
Thank you to the Baddest Dudes for also watching the stream.
Yeah, everybody watch the stream while you're playing. Wait, that doesn't quite work. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of DMs from people saying they want to see your beautiful face during the draft.
I don't believe you, but okay.
It's true. They're mostly from all of your fan base, so like there's just like dozens and dozens and dozens.
So like 7th Ace over and over and over.
You're very popular in Europe if you didn't know. Like you should know. Zigo says, "Mom, Dad, 3 sons." Nice. What's up, Arrow? Welcome to the stream.
Do you think your computer/internet connection can take me turning the camera back on, or do we not want to risk it?
It can for the draft, but then when we go into the game, you might as well turn it off because we can't see it anyways.
That's totally fair. So, at the behest of my many fan, here you are.
Many fan. There's that Ana ban again, as well as an Abathur ban. There he is.
I really like the Abathur ban. Abathur is just so good on this map.
Ooh. Just turn the music back on for a second. I was like, what? There is the ban for Falstad, and the second ban coming out from the Baddest Dudes.
Yeah, there it is.
Right wing.
That's the second global ban. The
All
Baddest
right.
Dudes really wanted to make sure that team fights are honest, and all of the members that are there are going to have been there the whole time.
Now we just need an ETC and Dahaka ban, and we'll get all of the globals, I think. I guess, would you consider Ariel
No.
a global with
not
that
even a
fly?
little
No, okay. Good.
ETC I would, though.
Yeah, ETC.
I will say, Varian coming out as the first pick from the Saberdarts, which maybe the Baddest Dudes know something we didn't, because they banned Varian in the first round of the last game.
Yeah, they might have been doing some deep research. Who knows? But Varian does get through this time, and Johanna throwing up her hands to the enemy, going over to the Baddest Dudes this time, stolen away from Kamino Saberdarts.
Looking like 2D's really a big fan of Rhaegar, so for all the teams that are here for the stream to get some scouting information, ban Rhaegar.
Oh, I love Rhaegar. Rhaegar is one of my favorites for sure. Just because I like really aggressive healers. I guess he doesn't have to be played aggressive, but I do.
I think that Lily must be a comfort pick, because nothing is screaming to me Lily right now, but there she is anyway. But I really like the Arthas pickup. It's a very heavy front line coming out from the side of the Saberdarts.
Yeah, Arthas is turning ship as well and going over to changing sides for game number 2. Yeah, you can have some good chates from Arthas and Varian. But we have switched healers, though. Because I believe Vowels was on Lily last game, right?
Oh, you are actually right about that.
Maybe...
I wonder if that is...
They might click all the arrows at the end and just try to switch it. We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. That would be
I would actually
interesting.
love to see that, because I feel like that's really underutilized draft strategy, is to show a person playing a hero and then just swap it later to confuse the team.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like that backfires sometimes and people just end up on heroes. They're like, I didn't want to play this. Whoops. So you got to be careful. Sometimes you trick yourself.
Are you really trying to tell me you've never had an NGS game where you had something just get through draft that you totally didn't mean to?
Ooh, you mean like pick up a hero that you didn't mean to?
Yeah, like everyone's hovering a hero and everyone says, pick Brightwing, Except the person doesn't pick Brightwing, and so Blizzard just eating meeny miny mows you into a third tank.
Oh yeah, I'm bad on every hero, so I'm not really surprised if I'm like, oh, I'm playing something that I wasn't intentionally picking. That's fine. I'll be about the same. There is the Imperius and Sylvanas picked up by Baddest Dudes. Getting that Sylvanas again. It's, Arrow of the Storm says, ETC has another ultimate? Yeah, I do like to go mosh all day, so sometimes it's hard to pick stage dive.
So I was going to talk about Imperius and how he got some changes today, but they were in like 6 different places, so I don't know what they are, but that's a lot of frontline coming out from the side of the Saberdarts. They have a really aggressive comp right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Two warrior boys and solo laner. Melee solo laner. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. Let's see. I guess Johanna and Imperius. Well, I mean, they did pick up the Tychus last time to try to shred some tanks, so maybe they'll try to do the same thing here with the Malthael.
We're not seeing a role swap between Vowels and Bones, so it looks like they're just both comfortable playing multiple roles.
All right, confirmed. Everybody on Kamino Saberdarts can play Lily, and they just kind of share her all around.
I mean, to be fair, everyone can play Lily. You literally just hold down Q the entire game.
Yeah, I have a special item that I bought on eBay that holds down just my Q button. I just kind of install it whenever I play Lily.
That's fair, especially in Brawl when you're constantly getting regen globes, you don't even need to worry.
It's true.
It's time for me to turn that camera off.
All right, bye-bye. Thanks for letting us see your face.
I'm sorry to any mirrors and or cameras that I shattered.
Arrow says, huh? People are going to click me? Maybe. We'll see. All right, let's get into game number 2. On the left-hand side, we have the Baddest Dudes. We have 2D Moss on Rhaegar. We have Rondertaker playing the Orc Johanna. We have Cactus Ham on Sylvanas. Zigo on the Imperius. And who did I miss? Oh, there we go. Savior123 playing that Cassia.
And in the red trunks, we have Vowels playing Varian. We have Rakanishu playing Lunara. Malthael being played by Kuni. Bones is playing Lily, and Ketchup King is playing Arthas, already popping trait. I would like to point out that Venus has left the game. Hopefully he'll reconnect in just a moment. But we actually have the invisible mount on the side of Lily, so if the Baddest Dudes want to make a case of it, this could be a regame. Hopefully that doesn't end up being the case. But
I'm back.
What happens when you pick mounts you're not supposed to? But in the top lane, we've actually got the Sylve Cheese coming out, and the red team is just a little bit slow in responding. Gets a tower for free and then just walks away.
That is what you fear every time the other team picks up a Sylvanas. Is there going to be cheese? Are they going to burn down my wells? What can I do to stop this? Where are they? And it's a big map, so when they reveal themselves, sometimes it's a little bit too late to go up and get them.
Bahamut coming in with a huge 14-man raid. Thank you very much, Bahamut.
Oh, bless you,
Everyone,
sir. Thank you so much.
Definitely check out Bahamut Gaming.
Yeah, Bahamut Gaming. You can see the best beard in the business, people. Check it out. Buy that man a pizza. That's what I like to say.
Now that the early game esports is dying down just a little bit, we can take a look at some of our talents. I find the Eternal Hunger a particularly interesting talent coming out from the Arthas, opting to give up that really large area route. Hippity Hop is another one coming out from Lunara that you don't see picked up too often, and we see the High King's Quest coming out from Varian. Doesn't actually give anything away, but leans a little bit more towards one of the damage ults on 4. And once again, the Laws of Hope on Johanna. With all the CC on the side of the Saberdarts, and you opt to not have your D on a shorter cooldown, that is what Kerrigan would call a bold move.
Oh my. Bippity boppity bold. Yeah, I think we probably will see. I think you're hinting at Windblades, maybe?
I wouldn't prefer it. I would much prefer C-Smash.
All right, going up against the Johanna, that would make a lot of sense, as you have a lot of shielding to break through. Got to get all that damage in. Try to blow some people up.
We see now a slight deviation between the Sylve builds in this game. In the last game, we've got the Possession instead of the Mercenary Queen, wanting to get a little bit more map pressure, but a little less camp pressure potentially, which does make sense in this map. The camps are a little bit more regulated in how you want to take them.
camp is pushing in the bottom lane for the Baddest Dudes. They're going to try to get some siege damage in. Varian defending, but is outmanned. As Johanna says, see ya later. Leaving Cactus to defend for themselves in the bottom lane. Gonna go ahead and leave those camps. Start to get set up on these temples, which we'll be activating in the next 12 seconds.
We do as well see that Varian deciding that 2 swords are in fact better than 1.
Oh, most excellent. Yeah, seeing that Twin Blades of Fury. Well, I mean, if you can get the High King's quest all completed and Twin Blades of Fury, that's a lot of swords all up in your face all the time.
It is, but Johanna and Cassie are in the enemy team.
It's true.
I personally think you get a lot more value out of C-Smash giving you that armor cut than you're going to get out of auto-attacking. But let's see if Vowels knows something that I don't, because I've played Varian all of, like, 1.5 times.
We'll see. Both teams kind of splitting to take their own temples. We have the Baddest Dudes up in the top. We've got Kamino down in the mid.
We see a kind of 2-3 split from the Saberdarts. 2 people making sure that they can really hold onto that bottom, or said the mid objective, and seeing if they can get anything done on the top lane. They can't, and so they're just going to spread out. The Saberdarts are actually very aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, and also having control of this vision is pretty important on this map with all the rotations that happen between lanes, especially when temples are up. Sometimes that'll give you the edge over some of the other players or the other team members, and you can get set up like a good gank, something like that, of that nature. Because this map is all about siege damage. It doesn't matter where the siege damage comes from, whether it comes from the temples, whether it comes from pushing a lane or from camps. That's just how you win. Whoever does the most siege damage will win.
Often true in most games.
Yeah, not true all the time.
More in this game, more on this map than most.
What are you, a Sith? Only Sith deal in absolutes. Maybe, I don't know.
You just got all the sound effects on lockdown. Zego taking a lot of damage in the top lane, but he's able to walk away pretty fine. He'll be able to tap up in just a moment. Is it Zego or Zego? How have you been saying it?
I've been saying Zego, like Zego my egos. Or actually, I might have said Zego. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Welcome to chat, Taki.
Down to make sure that he can take their siege camp in time, just as soon as it came back up. A little bit of a gank attempt coming out. No, actually going to rotate over and try to sneak the opponent team mercenary camp instead. With the Twin Blades Varian and Amalthea, you can take camps really, really quick.
Oh yeah, that's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. But it is going to get found out by Sylvanas, but not enough to stop it. We do have the temple in the bottom lane and 2 camps pushing for Kamino Saberdarts, so they might be able to get some traction here, maybe at least a little bit of a defense so that they can hold this temple without getting invaded by too much. However, in the top,
they're definitely gonna be able to get the start of the objective, because we can see that the Baddest Dudes are actually prioritizing taking this camp and having that pushing during the objective as well. So that'll be a nice 10 seconds before they can actually get 5 members down to the bottom lane. Although the Saberdarts still have Lunar in the top lane, she's been showing this whole time. It'll be a 5v4. We saw this happen on the bot lane of Volskaya. It did not go well then, and I don't think it'll go much better now.
And there goes a big stun in from Imperius, chasing Varian back a little bit as well as the Arthas. Arthas taking so much fen damage. Arthas will go down. That is the first kill of the game, and locking in 10s here for the Baddest Dudes as they hop onto the temple. Wailing Arrow, Angelic Armaments, Ball Lightning, Ancestral Healing, and Blessed Shield picked up by the Baddest Dudes.
Though ults were picked up during that fight, I really like the restraint coming out from the side of the Baddest Dudes, knowing that they can just use their man advantage instead of having to actually expend the resources from their ultimates to get damage done.
Yep, still soaking in the top lane. Lunar is going to head back to base. Good point from Arrow in the chat. Twin feed lets them solo boss easy. Yeah, Varian can definitely solo the boss if left alone. Varian showing off his soloing skills right now on this bruiser camp. Thwacking away. While the rest of the team members kind of float around mid, looking for their next engagement. Both teams checking out boss to make sure that the other team is not taking it and not doing it. Not gonna do it.
Both teams really just kind of jockeying for position, trying to catch someone out. But otherwise, just trying to, get that soak value as best as they can. Vowel's going in for a bit of a fight against Zigo, but they're going to get pushed away as soon as Cassia shows up. Hopefully not going to get dropped, because once again, we want that game 3. Missing the shotgun from the angelic armaments, and Vowels is able to just walk away.
If that had connected, though, could have been in trouble. There we go. Unstoppable popped. Not getting the root from Arthas. Getting away. Johanna is just kind of hanging out. Soaking up, trying to get these minions down before damage goes on to that mid fort.
And they can see that there's still 2 members in the top lane, so even though they don't have their arc quite yet, they can pretty much go onto this without probably too much of a contest. On the other hand, there goes Varian, not quite getting topped off in time, and this is now a 5-4 in the favor of the Baddest dudes.
Ball
But
lightning,
looks
get
like both teams
down.
are content to
Cups
mostly
down.
just engage after that one fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we have 2 temples that are going to be activating in the next 25 seconds. We're going to see a quick dash for the siege camps on both sides, and then a decision. Which temple do we take? And a dive in here onto Tootie. Tootie gets rooted, but is going to be able to get some defense from the rest of the team. And now this is a 3v4. You got to be careful. Kamino got to back up. Arthur's taking a lot of shots.
However, we do have Vowels back. They do go in onto the point, trying to defend this camp, but it's a 5v4 in their opponent's favor, and it's going to go pretty much exactly as you would expect that it would. A really big ancestral coming out to keep Savior topped off, and that is a 3-for-0, and they don't even get the camp for it.
3
And
kills
there
now.
is the boss call.
Yeah, 3 kills for Baddest Dudes and the camp, and now they're going to get the boss. Things are looking good, and they're also going to shift down, take this bottom temple as well. This is a big swing here for the Baddest Dudes.
Why not? There's absolutely nothing that the Saberdarts can do about it right now other than poke a little bit, but even doing that, you're liable to get CC'd down like we've been seeing pretty consistently.
Boss is claimed, and I wouldn't be surprised if they shift up to this mid-temple and try to get this one too.
I like the call from Melthael to try and go for that. I would have liked it a lot better if he would have done it immediately, because he could have gotten a lot of time on that objective before the Baddest Dudes were able to rotate. As it is, he gets a couple of shots, but then takes a ton of damage. And there's actually not most of the damage to clear this boss. Only Lunara and Lily, who, I mean, Lunara is great, but Lily isn't.
Right.
The rest of the team is just kind of positioning around, seeing if they can get anything done, but the Baddest Dudes have just been playing a little bit too solid. They're not letting the Saberdarts find what they're looking for.
Boss finally goes down in the bottom. A little bit more of a skirmish here in the middle. The Baddest Dudes claim the entire bottom temple, so they are far ahead as far as siege damage goes. Taking a lot of damage. Arthas has to back on out, but cannot get out in time and does fall. Next, Varian is going back in, but he's on the wrong side. Is protected, going in hard onto the Cassie, does not secure the kill, and it is Varian that goes down. It's a double kill, going for a triple kill. Can Malthael get away? Being chased by Johanna, but it's going to be Lily who goes down instead. Another 3 kills going over the Baddest Dudes. 3 for free and the rest of this temple.
And you really hate to see that happen. Lily was rotating up to make that an even 4v4, but Varian went in just a little bit too early, got chunked down a little bit too hard, and Jugs wasn't able to save him after that. A little bit of a blunder just now from Zigo, trying to charge over that wall and missing just a little bit. So he'll take the walk of shame all the way around.
1 of 3 of the High King's quests completed so far. Maybe a couple more points in there might help a little bit, but just because you have, you can protect yourself doesn't mean you're not going to take damage afterwards if you're still surrounded by the enemy team. But we'll see what happens here.
We never explicitly called out the ults, even though we're about 5 levels past it at the time. Most of them are pretty much as you would expect, with the slightly surprising Syndragosa, and especially the Tormented Souls, which I haven't seen since his rework, to be completely honest.
Yeah, Thornwood Vine, Shield Wall, of course, Jugs. Zigo's in trouble. Imperius goes down. This could be the turnaround that need. Ball Lightning is bouncing, and the Kamino Saberdarts are chasing. Cassia getting low, but getting back in time. Getting a lot of protection, spell protection from that minion camp. Look at all that armor flashing around.
That was actually an incredible engagement by the Varian, of all people. You saw that heroic strike went out onto Zigo, and even though he got an Ancestral, it didn't feel like anything more than a chain heal.
And there is another kill onto Johanna. Saberdarts are looking to get a kill onto Sylvanas, but Sylvanas just able to sneak away. But they do claim the top fort, and Temple will be activating in 20 seconds up in the top. And they're down a talent tier. They're down 16s while the Baddest Dudes had it. So that was a good push while being down.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking the fights that are coming out of the Saberdarts. Just they've taken a few too many down people, but we see when you get a 5v5, it can still go in their favor.
The dude says Imperius had to ult to finish off the bottom temple. I was wondering why he backed off the temple for a little bit. Must have just been really, really low with health.
I'm not gonna lie, you can see in the water above the temple, there's a dude getting eaten by a shark I've never noticed before.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But we see both teams coming in here. They now have both picked up their 16 talents. And we see an even fight coming out. And there goes the Tormented Souls, pretty much hitting every member of the opposing team. Getting that damage over time onto everyone. Zego getting brought down very low, but it's Lily who gets brought down first. Zego is going to go down, but not before Varian follows as well. This is looking like an increasingly good fight for the side of the Baddest Dudes. Let's see Cooney going back in.
Oh my
trying to finish
goodness.
off that's 3 very low, and he gets one of them. That's,
wow.
It's 3 versus 2, but that's 2 that are very low, and Cactus is not able to make it out of there.
Huge plays by Malthael, getting all of that healing and resulting in them getting the temple, at least for now. That was a back and forth fight that switched sides a couple times.
I was ready to call it for the Baddest Dudes, but I was completely incorrect. Cooney going back in, putting the team on their back, and just cleaning house.
My goodness, they had a family. 2D dropping down into the bottom lane, trying to pick up the siege camp while they're waiting for the rest of their teammates to respawn. In the meantime, Boss has just respawned. Temple is down, so nothing else to do on that. Siege damage is looking pretty close. A little bit of an advantage here in this bottom lane keep going over to the Baddest Dudes, but now here comes Varian jumping in right away on the boss, and the Baddest Dudes know about it.
This is exactly what Arrow called out for. Easy boss kill with vowels. 2D Moss was actually standing in the Wisp, so the Saberdarts knew that they were standing there. They know that they've got the man advantage, and Varian is just standing, doing what Twin Blades Varian does best, and soloing bosses.
Fighting battles on 2 fronts, though. Malthael pumping out the souls, trying to get some heals up here, and actually they get a kill onto Cassia, and they claim the boss. Could collapse onto Imperius, trying to run away. Zego running. Zego's egos are cooked, and he goes down.
Actually took too much damage for Malthael to get the second use of that angelic armaments. That's a huge 2-for-0. That brings the Saberdarts from a slightly losing position to a very good one, although we see Malthael rotating back to make sure that siege camp doesn't finish off their bottom keep. I would really like to see everyone in a 4-man though, although Rondertaker taking a huge amount of damage. Ketchup King gets turned around with that huge Ancestral gets brought back to bring Johanna back up, and they get the counter kill onto Arthas.
Now a little bit of a misplay there. You want to group everybody up and go ahead and push where you can to secure a keep. Now I'm not sure they're going to, especially Malthael backs off. He's going to go ahead and grab this camp down here instead. Boss is going to get about maybe half of the keep. That's about it. So now it's camp time.
The Saberdarts should definitely prioritize this bottom objective, because not only will it secure that bottom keep, it'll stop their own keep from going down, because the top one will fire on the top keep instead of the bottom keep. So that would put them in a much better position if they're able to secure that.
Absolutely. Both teams looking to pick up their bruiser camps on both sides of the map. There is that camp that's pushing right now, right here, right now, for Kamino Saberdarts. But Varian's going to try to be a little bit sneaky and get some shots in the front. Or up in the top, rather, not in the front. Lily's got to be careful, and Malthael, they're about to be ambushed big time here by the Baddest Dudes.
Baddest Dudes making a very smart play. They had Cassia show in lane, but the rest of their team went around, didn't show in lane, didn't show at all until they were already on that bottom camp, getting themselves a very heavily discounted Malthael kill.
Yeah, absolutely. Malthael is back. They did get about half the shots in the bottom, though, and they've gotten over half the shots in the top. So, you know, as long as they don't lose a bunch of their teammates up here in the top lane, this might be pretty good for the Saberdarts. Once again, trying to fight inside of the protection of this camp.
Huge damage going out on a Tudimas, and once again, that Mortal Strike going out, cutting down the Ancestral to be much more manageable. And there goes the root onto Cassia, losing her armor. There goes the kill onto Johanna. Sorry, onto Cassia and Sylvanas. And that's looking like this is going to bring us to a game number 3.
Yeah, Rhaegar goes down there too, and they're on the core. The Kamino Saberdarts say this is their map. They want to go to game 3.
Varian's pretty good at hitting bosses, but he's even better at hitting the core, and he is doing it right now.
Man, he is hardcore, and he is going to town. Core is at 40%, and it keeps dropping. The GGs come on out from the Baddest Dudes. Game number 2, going over to Kamino Saberdarts, their first win in NGS history.
And we've got ourselves a rubber match.
Oh my goodness. Whew. All right, I'm going to update the score this time.
In spectacular fashion, with the Tormented Souls. And it got him a lot of value. Malthael was deep in there, getting that healing, getting that damage, and they just weren't able to stop him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that. 73k almost hero damage. He was just pumping out the damage and the jams. Also, collecting the most XP in the game. 13k.
Truly, no one can stop death.
Ooh, that's true. That is true. Sometimes I just want to stop the bus and be like, I know I was late by 20 seconds, but now I'm running next to you and I'm slamming on the glass. Just let me in. Let me in. Ulysses says, Moist Weenus, your stream title is very wrong. I did change it, but I don't think I hit save, so.
So we're doing some very highly competitive drafting ARAM.
That's right. All right, I updated the title. We'll see if it actually works. Alrighty. We are going to get into game 3 in just a second. We just have to find out who we are going to be, or where we are going. So it is up to the Baddest Dudes. They are going to pick either a map or a first hero pick. So we'll get to that in a minute. We'll set that right up, and we will be right back. Welcome back. That was a very exciting game number 2. We are headed game number 3 to, well, let's show you. Take a look at the mappies. All right, so there's a lot of crap on screen, but the next game, the last game in this series, will be Alterac Pass. And this was once again picked up by the Baddest Dudes. So they have picked all 3 maps in this series so far. Just anything that you find interesting about the map picks so far, or the bans or anything, Hector, map related?
I find it both surprising and not surprising that we're on Alterac. I'm always a little bit surprised by this map just because it's been in the rotation for less time than any other map. On the other hand, in the previous season of NGS, Baddest Dudes picked this map more often than most. So, I guess it's just a comfort pick for him.
Yeah, man. Go with what you want, or surprise for the other team. Like play a map that they maybe haven't played as much. Maybe they don't have all the tactics lined up. Like I guess Volskaya is a newer map, I guess. I mean, they've all kind of been around for a while now. But that seemed to go pretty well for the Baddest Dudes. So maybe they're trying to push it out again with Alterac Pass.
I think it's good because the macro play has been a little bit better from the side of the dudes, but the Saberdarts have really had the team fights to kind of come back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just filling out the rest of the roster here to get everybody into the game, and we'll get started shortly. What was I gonna say? Oh, I mean, it's with the second ban in season 7 of NGS. Like, look at all these maps that have been touched. Like, we're getting 7 maps touched out of 10. So like that seems crazy to me. I don't know. Instead of 5 out of 9, I guess it's pretty close.
And yet, no Infernal Shrines.
Yeah. Maybe next time. All right, looks like we have everybody in the lobby. I think let's see if they're ready to go. Checking once, checking twice. Okay, so this was true in game 1. This is true in game 2, and now I'm gonna say it in game 3. Portrait synergy once again is still on point for the Baddest Dudes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I definitely missed it game 1. Wah wah. My dog freaks out whenever I use the chicken.
A little bit more intimidating to see, oh man, this other team, look how coordinated this other team is. And it's totally a mental thing. It takes no effort at all to just go up and change your portrait, but it's got that just that effect of providing that unified front.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know if this is true, but like if you're in lobby and you change your portrait when you're already in a lobby, does it update right away, or do you have to leave the lobby and come back in? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, then I'm just bad at changing portraits. All right, 1 second from team number 2 here from the Kamino Saberdarts. I'm gonna play some sound effects, but I don't think anyone's gonna be able to hear them except for the stream.
Stay a while and
Oh my.
What's your profanity?
I have an Alex, a White Mane laugh. A little bow chicka bow wow. Oh my goodness. Catching him on the band mounts? Somebody has to. All right. Look at this. All right, we are almost ready to go. Once again, these are the maps. Boxes and boxes and boxes. It's a 1-1 split so far. We're going to game number 3. Thanks everybody for joining us in Twitch chat. I don't know if the Twitch title updated or not, but
it did update.
Oh, finally. Okay. We're no longer doing ARAMs. Perfect. All right. See if these teams are ready to roll or not. We're getting a maybe. All right.
Also having just a brief seminar on skins and mounts that are banned in NGS.
Absolutely. All right, while we're waiting, look at this weird thing. Waboom. So, also, one other thing that you guys can see that is kind of silly is my end of stream. Check this out. Look at this weirdness. That's right. That's me riding a unicorn. I think we are just about ready, though, because I am out of video bumpers. I think teams are finally almost ready. We have 1 out of 2. Okay, we're ready. Let's go into game number 3.
It's a good thing you are so prepared for things to go wrong.
Well, everything goes wrong with my streams, absolutely. So, you know, it just happens every time. But we have everybody. Can we get a redo? Ah, I blinked. Yeah, watch out, 7th. Watch out. Here we go. Alterac Pass is going to be map number 3. Once again, first ban and pickup. Hero pickup is going to go to Kamino Saberdarts. And they have had enough of Cactus Ham Sylvanas, and they say, no, sir. No more.
So, Weedus, for any of our viewers that are getting in here just a little bit late, do you want to recap how we ended up on Alterac Pass for Game 3?
Yes. We have a ban on Towers, a ban on BOE, a ban on Spider, a ban on Braxis, a pickup first of Volskaya, then Sky Temple, and now on Alterac Pass, leaving Shrines, Dragonshire, and Cursed Hollow on their own.
Interesting change-up of strategy coming out from the side of the Kamino Saberdarts, saying no more with these meta bans. We're going all respect bans for Game 3. No more of that Sylvanas. No more of that Rhaegar. Let's see what else you can play.
Yeah, maybe not looking into research of past seasons on the Baddest dudes. Kamino Saberdarts are new, so maybe they haven't learned how to do a lot of research, but it's a new season, it's a new team, but they picked it up after 2 games in a row against the Baddest dudes. They realized, all right, well, let's start taking away the heroes they like, and they did that very quickly.
And once again, we've got the first pick variant coming out from Vowels. It did decently, I'll say, in game number 2.
I love that we're calling them Vowels. That's my favorite thing so far in this matchup.
You know, if there was a slight change up in the positioning of the characters from that name, I would just call them A-E-I-O-U, but it's not that.
It's, yeah, A-I-U-E-O, and if there was a vowel or 2 missing or another letter, then it'd be like, all right, maybe they're not going just with vowels, but they're going with vowels.
I actually wonder if that person knows Japanese, because that's the order of vowels in Japanese.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. All right. Thank you very much, Tix Master, for the follow. I appreciate it. Falstad. Anna actually gets to get played this time. It's a miracle.
It's a bit of an exciting draft, and we see a lot of the same heroes picked up between all 3 of these games, but they're swapping sides very often.
And now we have Ketchup King playing support. First, game 1, we had Vowels. Then game 2, we had Bones. And now we have Ketchup King on Anna. I wonder if that's going to stick.
We really are Nexus Support Gaming.
Pretty much.
Nexus Gaming Supports. I know the acronym for the organization that I'm in.
I love it. They're probably like, you know, no one wants to support. We're all going to take a turn, and everybody has to take a turn. Johanna and Arthas picked up here from the Baddest dudes. I would say, since we saw Tychus in game 1, and there's the Malthiel ban there, I don't know. I think they might pick up a Tychus on the side of Kamino Saberdarts, because they like their tank shred.
That is not a front line that I would want to take a Twin Blades variant into.
It's true. That's very true. Yeah, Arthas with his slows, it's very hard for Varian to fight into an Arthas.
And
Foe
later picks up the attack speed slow and the Johanna blind, but we see Raynor and Orphan being picked up on the side of the Baddest dudes. That's a really nice safe poke comp, which is what you generally want on this map.
Show me the Tychus. Tychus and a Diablo just for crazy YOLO, whatever. Nope.
No, it's the High Lord. That's an exciting pick, and I really actually like it against the heavy front line.
Yep, the High Lord himself. Don't worry, people. He has a medical card. He can do whatever he wants. Muradin going from healer to hard tank. I like it. The flexibility is very, very interesting from Kamino.
And the Malfurion coming out from 2D Moss. It seems like he kind of favors the older supports, the ones that have been in the Nexus for a lot longer. I haven't seen him play any of the newer ones. I am not sure what 2D is getting out of that statement. So we're not gonna consider that any further.
Nope. I am curious, but it's blocked, so no one's gonna know. Except for everybody in this room. The chat doesn't leave this room.
Spoilers, I'm in the room.
Shh. You're in the motion picture The Room as a cameo appearance. I'd love to see it.
No, I'm actually in the 4th game in the Silent Hill franchise, The Room.
Oh. Oh my. You're just everywhere, Ektar. I love it.
I'm a very prolific artist, just not, not in all the mediums you might expect.
All right, very good. Let's get into the gameplay here. Bye, Ektar. We'll see you later, buddy.
Toodles.
Here we go. This is game number 3. Div D West. On the left-hand side, we have blue team, the Baddest dudes. We have Zigo playing Arthas, 2D Moss playing Malfurion, Cactus Ham playing Raynor, Savior 123 on the Orphea, and Rondertaker rounding us out on that Johanna.
And in the red trunks, we have Ana played by Ketchup King, Muradin by Bones, Varian by Vowels, Alarak by Cooney, and Falstad by Rakanishu.
All right.
Interesting that they opted not to play a single Diablo hero in this game.
Huh. It must be intentional. Out come the sprays. Spicy game 3. Both teams are going to walk away with at least 1 point tonight, as they each have a win. Really looking for that second win. Show that you're the better team and want the points more. Falstad says, see you later. I just got an Uber top. Takes off.
I see that Cooney has played Alarak outside of just ARAM, not deciding to go for that charged lightning stacks, but instead going for the ruthless momentum.
Once again, lots of hope.
Once again, High King's Quest.
Are we gonna see? Well, I guess we probably will with a Muradin. We're definitely gonna probably not see a taunt. I mean, we could see a taunt from Varian, but I doubt it.
I wouldn't like it quite as much. I would once again like to see Smash, but I was wrong in the first game where he was played, and gosh darn it, I'll be wrong in game 3 too.
I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, and gosh darn it, just doing what we can.
Little bit of a kerfuffle going on in the mid lane. Bones just trying to get some stacks out onto 2D. Already up to 4, which is pretty respectable. Question, is his Muradin's 4 still bugged?
Oh, with a new patch, anything can happen.
Was it still bugged previously?
No, it was resolved, but so it was patched. But you know, every time Blizzard comes out with a patch, there's some bug to be discovered if you can find it.
Every time there's a patch, there's a new thing that Garrosh can or cannot throw.
Absolutely. I love this map because of the camp pressure. These camps respawn like every minute. The camp, a minute and a half, I believe. So the camp has been taken from the Baddest dudes, and their camp is going to be up again in 50 seconds. So you can just keep taking that over and over and over again. Getting that early push for the Baddest dudes. Still no camp action for Kamino Saberdarts yet.
And once again, Vowels deciding that 2 is in fact better than 1.
Also deciding to pick up Twin Blades. Yep. Very good.
Interesting that no camp has yet been taken from the side of the Saberdarts. It looks like Vowels and Ketchup are going to go ahead and rotate and do that, but it means they're going to have a bit of a slow time defending if the Baddest Dudes want to get onto their side aggressively.
Getting that camp very early. The Baddest Dudes are prepared. They are foaming at the mouths, just ready to jump on those knolls. But since it's winter, there's not a grassy knoll. It's just a snowy knoll.
No. Not responding to that.
Negative. I need a big siren horn. Actually, I think I have one. Here, I'll play it. Oh my god, that's loud.
I'm glad that there's a sound happening, because I sure didn't hear it.
Yeah, you're not going to hear it because I don't have my stuff set up right. But anyways. Yeah, fighting over this objective. Who's going to start channeling first? I don't know, but it's camp defense time in the middle lane.
Interesting that Ana is still going into full grenade build when the level 7 was nerfed so heavily today. I wonder if they read the patch notes.
Possibly.
And if they did, were they able to parse through all of the mistakes in the patch notes?
I don't know. It was, there wasn't a whole lot of time from release to this game tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't able to read everything and be prepared.
Once again, the Baddest Dudes showing their understanding of macro plays and rotations. Once their camp won out, they just waited until the Saberdarts set someone else to deal with the mid lane, and when they did, they came in and got the channel and the objective, and that's a lot of damage, and a kill going out onto Jimmy Raynor, positioned a little bit too far away from the rest of his team, and it looks like, oh, it's very close, and 0.1 seconds, Ketchup King gets the interrupt, but then
that's a
interrupt
2.
goes out on the interrupt, but they sacrifice an Arthas to get that objective. Probably worth it in just about every case.
Yeah, they do drop 2. We got the global here from Falstad, able to just jump up into the top lane, start soaking up there. They do have a talent tier advantage, hitting 7 first for the Kamino Saberdarts, and then you're going to spread out a little bit and try to take down these cavalry charging minions, cavalry camps. Let's see how much value they actually get, but you definitely want to get the objective here if you can, because they're just so dang strong.
And considering how short death timers are this early in the game, it doesn't actually lose them a lot having that Arthas go down. It's mostly the lack of soak and the kill XP itself. Ana's actually holding on to that level 7 talent still. That's interesting. I wonder if they did read the patch notes.
Could be, could be. Maybe they're reading the patch notes right now. Falstad doing a barrel roll, trying to get away, but the top fort is in trouble. Arrow says taunt would be disgusting. Another comment from 7th A says that guy didn't read the patch notes. Kevin Cloakin Johnson.
May you rest in peace.
Rip a
Or on
Roni.
whatever game development company you end up at from now on.
Could be.
Big root coming out onto Falstad with the follow-up Broccoli from Tutimas is going to secure a kill out onto Falstad. Vowels jumps in to try and peel for his teammates. Ends up having that Bones has to peel for Varian. And that's a top fort going down, and this whole time Johanna was soaking in the bottom lanes. That's going to start being a pretty decent XP lead over on the side of the Baddest Dudes.
Yeah.
Not yet, but it's going to get there.
Falstad definitely eating his broccoli, as he was told by his mother. Usually it's beneficial to you, but in some cases when Malfurion's involved, you gotta watch out. Both teams about to hit 9, so they're very close in XP.
I did not realize that Malfurion was Falstad's mother. The more you know.
It's true. It's half the time Malfurion's calling for Taronda, where are you? And the other half he's calling for Falstad.
Clearly I did not play the Frozen Throne, I only played the Reign of Winter.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on in the lore. Read a book. Read a book, Ektar. Once again, the camps are beating each other up in the middle. Trying to fight it out. Into win, says Zul Rules.
Zego, he gets a little bit of damage from Twin Blades Variant and Ketchup King, but, with Twin Blades, you just don't have that CC, and we have the level 10s coming in just a moment, and with that, they decided they're going to take boss in the top lane. This has not yet been scouted out, so I don't think that the Baddest Dudes are going to be able to respond, at least not to the boss directly. Ooh. They might want to rotate down and take the bottom boss, but as it is, it looks like this is just going to go completely uncontested in the favor of the Saberdarts.
Yeah, Arthas.
I know that you get protected, but you don't need to stand in the stun slams from the boss.
It's true.
Come on now, you're better than that.
Top boss picked up there by the Kamino Saberdarts. That's going to have to be responded to. A good time to pick it up right before the objective. I like this. But you also need to...
King deciding to heck with the nerfs. I still like Granada, and it's going to go full grenade 1 through 7. Has not yet decided on an ultimate. There goes the Eye of Horus. Snap picked and snap used. Huge damage going down onto Zego. Not quite enough to take him down, but enough that he has to leave.
Did that Hinterlands blast miss, or did it just get absorbed? Maybe not enough, but eventually Arthas does go down. And the boss is about to go down as well, but they want this fort, and they are going to take it. Now they are a 5v4 if they want to move on to the objective, and they do that right away. Kamino looks like they're going to take the lead in this objective at the start.
Raw Undertaker not quite in time with the flashlight to stop the channel, so that is going to be channel time going over to the Saberdarts. Rotating their full stab back so he can top himself off on health and mana, but I don't think that the Baddest dudes can quite step into this before Arthas gets there. They don't know that there's not a false stab there. They do now, but now it's the 5v4 until Arthas gets here, which he just barely did on that Poverty Pony.
Eating a lot of damage. Muradin just takes too much. Varian taking a lot of damage too. The root going out onto Ana on the chase onto Varian. Varian goes down. It's going to be Ana next. Out comes the feast. Ana drops. And it's going to be a 3-0 in favor of the Baddest dudes getting those kills.
Orphan getting a ton of Q resets during that fight, so she can just waltz after waltz after waltz and make sure she can keep putting that consistent damage and chunk down 3 members of the enemy team.
Absolutely. It's waltz nuts. Rainer's Raider, Eternal
Wanna run that
Feast.
by me again?
It's a waltz nuts, like a walnuts, but it's waltz nuts. Rainer's
Wow,
Raider, Eternal Feast, Twilight Dream, Army of the Dead, and Blessed Shield round out the heroics here for the Baddest dudes.
We see the Eye of Horus coming out from the core, actually. We have the Avatar, Shield Wall, not able to save Varian, even through Protected by the Way. Deadly Charge is a bit of a surprise. I almost never see that picked up at level 10, though we see it used right there to get onto Zego with the Wraith effect, but not enough to quite take him down. And once again, the Hinterlands Blast coming out.
Good turnaround there by the Baddest dudes, able to come back, fight through the objective, get some kills, hit 13, grab that cavalry. Now they're just going to have to push back the mid lane. They do have the advantage of only losing 1 fort. 2 down on the side of Kamino.
It's a little bit unfortunate. They took a great fight under that top fort, but when Rakanishu backed off, the rest of his team tried to take a 4v4 fight before he got there, and it didn't go in their favor. So I like the team fighting that actually happens, especially the 5v5s, but the Saberdarts just, they take fights a little bit too early.
Yeah, and you gotta be careful. Gotta make sure your team's there. Make sure you have a good opportunity to fight. Down goes the feast. Doesn't get very much. Goes back down. Muradin hopping his little dwarven booty out of the way. But they're on the keep.
And there's not a Varian to help bolster this defense.
Varian is in the top lane trying to do what he can up there.
Deadly Charge comes in, gets Tudimos down really low, but Alarak actually gets interrupted by the Condemn, so he's not able to get his Q out onto Tootie to finish that
Here comes
kill.
Varian, though, for a flank. Can Varian turn this around? Tootie popping out the dream, but going down himself.
Doesn't matter how silenced you are, you can always still auto-attack, but extending a little bit too far to get that 1 kill and giving up an additional 2 of their own.
Yeah, 3 for 1. Big advantage now in the hands of the Baddest dudes as they transfer down into the very bottom to pick up this boss camp.
And there is truly nothing that the Saberdarts can do to contest this boss. They are making the correct call and just getting out, soaking the lanes, possibly taking their own siege camp.
Yep, siege camp is something they can do. They're not going to get to this boss in time, although it looks like they just want to push back the bottom lane, push back the mid lane, and get that camp. Falstad has gone up there. Take care of business. Does have Wingman. Get those bribe stacks going.
Truth be told, this bottom boss shouldn't actually do all that much. The keep in that lane is already down, so it's just going to put a little bit of extra map pressure there. And because the keep on this map regenerates health, it doesn't actually do all that much other than give them a little bit of XP and take it off the map.
Gotcha. 7th Ace talking about that W trait build for Alarak. Definitely been on his mind, considering it.
I imagine it's going to be on his mind even more now after the Zeratul nerfs.
Zeratul get nerfed today?
He did get nerfed today, but more important than that, there's a top boss being taken by the side of the Baddest Dudes. It gets scouted out by the Eye of Horus, but that's a 55-second cooldown that it gave as much information as a Tyrande Sentinel, unfortunately.
Yep, you can know it's happening, but you're not close enough to do a damn thing about it. And it looks like Kamino might. They're trying to decide what to do. Do they go to the objective? No, we have to burn this boss down. We can't just have it walking in on our core.
I like that call. They seem to be acknowledging that they can't win down 16 and 4v5. So they're going to get to clear on the boss, maybe try to soak out level 16 before mounting the defense on this objective.
Yeah, I agree. That's the call you have to do. You have to burn this down as fast as you can, then run, try to defend, hope to win a team fight down a talent tier. This is going to be tough, but it could be done. Here they come.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to wait for 16. They're saying if the enemy team gets this, it puts us into too much of a losing position. So we're gonna fight down a talent tier, and gosh darn it, we're gonna win.
Was the time. Someone needs to stop the channel from happening though, but it's hard to do with all of this poke. Oh, it's gonna auto channel. They're pushing forward for kills, but they're not gonna get it.
By the way, when he's stunned, but each team getting one kill of their name. There goes the objective, so it looks like the Saberdarts are gonna have to try and get some additional value. There goes the Hinterlands Blast to finish off Tootie. Ketchup King, he gets rooted. This fight is just a bloodbath. 5 heroes going down total. And it looks like Rakanishu and Bones are able to walk away. Alarak was not quite so fortunate.
Yep, fighting past the objective. They had to get the kills there to balance out the objective going over to the other team. But, you know, it was a tough fight. You're down a talent tier. You're trying to push them off of a point that they're dug into. Like, it's tough. It's rough. And now they have to defend again for their very lives.
And keeps and buildings.
Keeps, buildings, minions, oh my.
They could have taken, but it was... That's just the unfortunate truth that sometimes the best fight you can take isn't a good enough fight.
Nope.
Owl's going in really hard trying to get some damage out onto Cactus Ham, but gets taken down themselves. Eye of Horus keeping Bones topped off, but it looks like the call is being made. Let's go for this core.
Gotta go for it. The top camp will probably take out that keep, but they gotta burn down these cavalry units. Maybe get some kills with the boss's help, but the boss is low, going down to 6k. Dropping lower now. Hinterlands comes out. Feast goes down, and that is it. Game 3, going over to the Baddest Dudes.
Very well played by them.
Oh my goodness. Let me see those stats. Yeah, that one was a little bit tougher for the Saberdarts. They got down a little bit in XP and weren't able to really come back from it. Team fights being won, 12 kills to 6, favoring the Baddest Dudes.
Yeah, I gotta say, the Saberdarts were just never quite able to stop the momentum of the Baddest Dudes like they were able to in game number 2. Alarak is a very good hero, but he is also very momentum based, so getting those kills, 2 deaths, resetting the sadism, just weren't able to have as much impact as they were able to in the previous game on the Malthael.
Yeah, if you don't get stacks, it's less of sadism and more of sadism.
I'm glad this cast is almost over. I don't know how much more of these I can take.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it just seemed like the Baddest Dudes knew a little bit more about what to do on this map. They were a little bit more united about their decisions. This is what we're doing. They took that camp in the middle quite a few times, and they knew how to clear the enemy's camp and let theirs push, picking up bosses at key times, using that momentum in their favor. Well, should we see if we can get someone from Baddest Dudes in here?
I'm seeing in the chat that Cactus Ham is being volunteered as tribute for the interview, so let's see if we can get them into one of the chat channels in NGS.
All right, I'll hop on over there. I'll see you there, sir. All right, let's update our mappy maps. Number 3 going over there. Boom. Baddest Dudes 2-1. Thank you very much for the follow, Zigo1597 and Rondertaker. I appreciate it. All right, let's see.
Welcome, Cactus Ham. Congratulations on your first ever casted victory in NGS or Heroes Lounge.
Thank you.
You guys did it. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're pretty psyched right now. Shout out to the Saberdarts for putting up a really good fight and finding our biggest weakness in the entire world in Malthy.
Malthiel did a lot of work. He did a lot of work in game 2. Let's see where to start. This is a great matchup. There was a little bit of something for everybody. I guess what do you do as a team when you're playing against another team that's brand new or doesn't have any player data to work off of? Like, what is your strategy when you're playing against the unknown?
Well, you gather as much information as you can on them, right? So if all I have to go off of is what they've done recently in Storm League, then that's what I have to go off of. So you prepare the same way that you do for any match. You look at what they play, you look at what they like to play together, you look at what maps they like, what maps they don't like. Obviously, working off of a limited base of data, but you know. And then we decided, like, we don't know exactly what they're gonna do, so let's just play our strongest comps, the stuff that we like to do the most, and just do it our way. Especially when we get map picking up first pick, then we get to go to the maps that we like.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that sounds like a great strategy. And is that just for some teams who may be new in this division, who may not know how to do scouting and things of that nature? Do you go through like hot slogs, or what is your favorite service to use to try to look up on your enemies?
I mean, I can't reveal too many company secrets, right?
It's true. But... It's true. You've said enough about that. We will we'll move on from that and ask about Volskaya. What made you pick Volskaya as the first map? If you can talk about it, of course.
I mean, as much as I can say, like, Volskaya has been one of our favorite maps for a long time. It's also not in the Storm League rotation, so I figured they probably don't have a lot of games recently on, and it's always a strong map for us, so it felt like it made the most sense, and we have a pretty solid strategy on.
That's sneaky, and I love it. It's fantastic. Hector, do you have anything about Game 1 that you want to talk about?
I noticed that in Game 1, you actually banned out the Varian, I think in the first round of rotations. Was that based on scouting, or is that based on not liking to play against Varian?
That was based on miscommunication. That was not who we were supposed to ban first. And then someone else said something. So usually how it works is I'll call in the ban to 2D, and he'll pick the hero and make the ban. And so I had the hero that we wanted to ban called, and then someone else said something, and he was like, "Wait, what?" We were talking about the second ban because we already knew who we were going to do first ban, so we were just using the rest of the time to figure out what exactly we want to do second. And I think 2D got confused and decided to ban Varian instead.
Very
so
good.
It was miscommunication.
Well, it seemed to work out pretty well. And
considering they ended up picking Varian in the follow-on 2 games, it maybe wasn't the worst accidental ban ever.
Yeah, we knew that they played Varian, so we were talking about whether or not we wanted to ban Varian, or I think it was Ming the second time around, and then we got confused and then banned out Varian first. Which, yeah, they played him both games after that, and they picked him really early.
Indeed. So going back to, I guess we can move on to game number 2. You were talking about just playing heroes that you're really strong with, and this is something that was going in game 1 and into game 2 and was prevented in game 3, and that is picking up the Rhaegar and the Sylvanas. Are those like just go-to bang bang, like these are our comfort picks? Once again, you don't have to answer if this is too much secrets.
We knew that they liked Rhaegar a lot also, and since we love Rhaegar also, we were like, let's just prioritize picking Rhaegar, because then they don't get their favorite healer. And they were banning out Anna, so... That makes
a lot of sense.
And I love Sylvanas personally. I think she's super strong. So if they give me the opportunity to play her, I'm gonna take her. But I also, Rainer's my second love. I can still do some work on him.
Well, you have a lot of heroes to spread that love out onto if you want to.
I probably should widen my hero pool a little bit. I get called out by my own team a lot for that. But why play anything less than the best?
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Were you a little bit confused when different players on Kamino Saberdarts were playing the support? Because that changed around to 3 different heroes. I don't know if you guys noticed or not.
Yeah, we noticed because, what I knew from scouting is that each of them sort of had a support pick that they liked to go to. And so when Anna was getting banned, we were like, okay, we're not going to have to worry about that. If we ban Rhaegar, he's not going to play support. It's going to either be Brightwing or it's going to be Lily most likely. And so I think we banned Brightwing on Sky Temple just because we knew that they liked the globals there and figured they might go after Brightwing.
Yeah, I might have to call PETA because everybody on that team has a hand on that panda. Do you have any questions, Hector, about Game 2 or anything else?
Just a little bit. You mentioned that Malthael was one of your team's great weaknesses. What about that hero or what the rest of the way that game went do you think caused you to stumble a little bit in game number 2?
We had a really strong early game, but we were basically 4 melee, being such a low ranged hero. So Malthael was the perfect counter against essentially 4 melee, and so we just have a hard time once he starts dancing around confirming the kill. There was a fight top that we got 2 kills on, and then Malthael was standing in between us, and no one was hitting him there, and we all went after the next target. I don't know if we thought he was dead or what happened, and he ended up just murdering us all. And it was a strong Malthael player, and Cassie probably in retrospect wasn't the best last pick there. But we thought, they had the variant, and we were trying to shut him down.
Were you surprised at all that they picked Tormented Souls?
Yeah, we were super surprised by Tormented Souls. That threw us all for a loop, but it clearly worked out, so...
Yeah, I definitely agree. We were both surprised, and it worked to pretty great effect, to their credit.
Yeah, that's... Oh, I'm sorry.
They played I thought that we were doing a pretty good job of controlling the map early game, which is what we wanted to do, and then they did a really good job at adjusting to what we were doing and taking the fights when it made sense for them to do it to throw us off balance. So
a little bit of intra-team mutiny. Zego and Tudimas are inquiring why Tudi bans when you're the captain.
I already explained the process. He knows the process.
I love.
Move on to game 3.
Yeah, I love it. I love when teammates rib each other. Yeah, game 3, and then also a question I want to ask: did you guys, were you guys surprised? Did you have to make any adjustments or to your gameplay today based on the patch that came out? Did you read the patch notes? Did it make an influence or any kind of a difference for you guys?
Definitely. If Zego were here, he would be telling us that he was calling for a Zeratul comp all night, and I told him before he even started, we're not playing Zeratul until I can get some games on him and find out how that wormhole change affects him, because that essentially shut down anything that we would do with Zeratul usually, because I just haven't had a chance to play him since I got home from work and then jumped into this.
Yeah, that's definitely the easiest way to bait your fishing rod is to use the wormhole.
Right.
Yeah.
And on the flip side of that, Imperius had some really strong looking changes. So we played a couple games before we jumped into it just to try to make sure we had, we're warmed up and stuff. And Zego was pretty excited about Imperius. So and we've played him a lot before, and those buffs looked pretty killer. So.
Awesome. One other question from chat. Brute1974 wants to know if you love them.
I love them all.
Follow-up question about, well, not follow-up to that, but it is after that, about Alterac Pass. Is Alterac Pass a new enough map to where you guys decided to pick it in order to try to catch the other team off guard, maybe not knowing the meta quite as much?
It's definitely a map that I feel like, and nothing to not to take anything away from the Saberdarts, because they put up a really good fight. But I know, like, when we first formed our team, that was a map that we didn't know a lot of the little intricacies, and like there feels like there's so little to do at times on it because there's only one camp. But the way that you can macro that map, you can finesse it a little bit after you've played it enough times. So it's a map that we feel pretty strongly about. We think that the stuff that we does work well on it. So once we kind of got beat on Sky Temple, we were like, all right, let's just go to Alterac. We know we can control Alterac.
Absolutely. All right. Do you have any questions about Game 3, Ektar? I know, Cactus, we've been talking to you for a long time, so we'll try to wrap it up.
No worries.
No, I think Game 3 was probably the most straightforward game.
Yeah, you guys did a great job of getting the XP lead and controlling the camps, controlling the bosses, and winning those team fights and the objectives. So
they did have that nice sneaky little Varian boss steal. So
that's true.
I assume it was a Varian boss steal. They popped a boss really early, so
you got to watch out for that Varian Twin Blades.
I think Varian, Falstad, and Ana.
Oh. Well, it was a good seal. It was a good sneak attack there.
Your team wants to know when Brute is playing Butcher.
We're developing our Butcher comp right now.
Perfect.
You heard it here first, NGS. Watch out for the baddest dudes in their Butcher comp.
That's right. Okay, well...
It can happen at any moment. If we ban Lily, the Butcher's coming.
Watch out. Hide your kids, hide your wives. They're all picking Butchers up in here. All right, sir. Before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs you may have.
Shout out to Tootie, Zego, Undertaker, Savior, my boys. Shout outs to our other teammates, the Dude, and to our new pickup, Calicula. Shout out to the Kamino Saberdarts for putting up a really good fight, allowing us to finally get a win on stream, which is pretty sweet. I know they're gonna win games this season because they're looking good. So, and shout out to Weenus and Ektar. Thanks for casting us.
Oh, anytime. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again. Have a great evening, and we look forward to following you guys through the rest of NGS Season 7.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
All right, see you guys.
All right. Well, I guess, Ektar, I'm going to pull you in one more time, and just so we can say goodbye. I gotta turn these chickens off. Boop. All right, get Ektar back in. There he is. Thank you so much, Undertaker, for the subscribed with Prime, and Brute 1974 for the follow. I appreciate it. Ektar, thank you so much for joining me tonight in last minute. This is a lot of fun. I always like.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, I always like having you on because you balance out all my bad jokes with useful information and things that people can actually use. So.
Occasionally also bad jokes.
Which I secretly really like. Of course I do. Are you on the tweeter?
Only when there's a contest I can try to win.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll look into that. Do you want people to know what your tweeter is, or is that kind of just like, maybe not?
There's nothing there worth following.
All right. Very good. Where can people find you, though, in the Nexus and in NGS?
In the Nexus, you can find me in NGS, the chat channel. In NGS, you can find me in any channel. Except for the secret board Discord, where they conspire against all of us.
There's a lot of goat rituals that happen in there, and a lot of it sounds like this.
Why are you running triple tank, triple support in the board Discord?
It's our secret strats. Our secret strats that don't really work. Unlike a lot of the people who are volunteers in this organization, including Ektar, who is the head moderator, He does a lot of work making sure that all the divisions and teams are taken care of. So thank you, sir, for all the work that you do, and thank you again for joining me. You can find me on Twitter at MoistWeenus. Sometimes I'll post dumb stuff that will not improve your life. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/MoistWeenus, because twitch.tv/Weenus has been camped on for a very long time, and I can't wait until that name makes it back into the Twitch directory, because I'm going to jump on it. This has been Div D West between two fantastic teams, the Baddest Dudes and Kamino Saberdarts. Thanks for letting us cast. We do have an NGS Patreon. We will end with that. If you feel like you want to support NGS, you can sign up and you can get some cool stuff at the different tier levels. Thanks.
Plug all the things.
That's all I got, except for thanks everybody for hanging out in chat. And thank you for all the follows and the donations, and Slexia for the 69 biddies. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Toodles.